Welcome to another Motor Town video. Today I'm here to give you guys my post commentary on the Panther event. As per usual, I participated in the races, recorded all of it, but I decided against doing a live commentary, just to have my focus on the races themselves and also not to end up accidentally just cursing out people. I think just doing it in post is gonna be a bit more relaxed and hopefully also insightful in this case because a few things happened and I actually have a second perspective on some of it, which should really clear things up. Anyways, let's get going. As per usual with these races, it's always a bit hard to really anticipate when they are going to start since it's all pretty much manual. So we are now at the starting line of the first race at the harbor, 4 laps, and waiting for the 3 honks from Chessbot right next to me. It's gonna be pretty hard to hear that over the sound of all the engines going off. And I think there's gonna be a bit more shenanigans here. Yeah, Scatman is leaving the position. Also, spontaneous rainfall. That can only help with a track which was already pretty narrow and yeah, hard to navigate. So putting rain on top of it, here we go. And I can tell you guys it's not gonna go well for too long. Not even really a corner here, but yeah, things are already going off the rails. I try to avoid the majority of the issue here, but if you look closely, there is this little wall right here to the right and I'm just running straight into it, trying to avoid everything in front of me. And to be clear, I did not do any practice for this track. I did some for Anson Raceway, which I showed you guys in the last episode, and yeah, I just got completely crushed by that guy. And I also did quite a few things for the V8 race, going around the south end of Jeju and over the highway. But yeah, the first one here, I did not do much apart from one solitary lap when I joined the server today. And that clearly was not enough. But yeah, besides that, with all of the chaos and everything going off here, it's just, it's a lot. And just looking at Scatman over here, I'm gonna go back a little bit. You can see how there's always stuff happening around him. And honestly, at that point, when I finally break free from everybody else and just have him in front of me, I mean, you just see all of this going on. My first directive in this race right now is to stay the hell away from him. I don't know what's going on there, but I don't want any part of it, so yeah, I'm playing it safe. I would rather stay behind him than completely destroy my car in an attempt of overtaking. Yeah, he's also just drifting a lot. I've seen something, I think it was a video recording from somebody else where it was mentioned that some people set up their vehicles to be more drifty. It doesn't really help when you're behind them, it's just gonna make it hard getting past. Speaking of getting past, I almost ran into that person instead of passing them. The crane in front of that turn is something that can move around on the map a little bit, but in that case it was pretty much in a location where it was hard for me to see what's going on ahead of me. Okay, now to a very important thing. We are trying to overtake Leighton. We get pretty close to him and I completely mess up my braking point here. Kind of annoyed with myself here. After all, the rest of the overtake was pretty well set up, but I really thought the brakes would be doing a better job here. The important thing that I would like to point out here, and let's go a bit further ahead. Look at the point at which I'm right next to him. So it's somewhere way before the checkpoint. That's when the entire thing gets a bit more open here. One line before before the big intersection right here. The reason I'm talking about this now is because I saw his perspective. Sorry. And we are going to take a quick look at that. Because from his perspective, I was pretty much dive bombing him, like going for blood pretty much.
Yeah, you didn't hit me because I got away just fine.
So I'm nowhere to be seen here. And yeah, this is me. I'm the problem.
No contact with
So
any
that's something to
cars
be
for okay,
said about all the weird issues going on with some people just bulldozing others and all of the crashing. I truly was not aware how much is going on with desync in this game. Yes, I did not get the breaking point right, but in my perspective, I was right next to him seconds earlier, and yeah, from this perspective, it looks more like I was trying to take him out, which really was not the case. But this is something to keep in mind from this point on, because that really informs on a lot of things that are going on with these races. But yeah, the stuff that I'm seeing right here, not what anybody else is seeing. I mean, I have 164 milliseconds delay, and I think if you look back here, yeah, Leighton also around the same value, so that usually just adds up and it doesn't look all that great. But yeah, the main point here, from my perspective, I completely missed the breaking point. But yeah, going forward, keep that in mind, because while I'm obviously trying my best to not get into anybody else's way, and I'm trying to have a proper clean race, the same is likely also true for everybody else, but due to the desync, it's something that nobody has really a lot of control over. And yeah, at this point, since I didn't do enough training, I am also just hitting a few apexes here and there, so light bit of engine damage, radiator damage, not really amazing. So still a bit of a race to go. I think we are in the second lap now. Yeah. Checks out with timeline down there. And I should have maybe gone for repairs at this point. Because if you know Motor Town, you know what's gonna be happening to the coolant in a moment, and yeah, it's not gonna be too fun. Once down in the bottom right here, the middle bar fills up the temperature gauge, it's just gonna completely stonewall me. And that's really the annoying thing about a lot of the races. It's just, you run into some issues, first corner incident, and that's pretty much it for you. And yeah, temperature shot up like nothing. So I think now I'm going to very soon see that, yep, I should have gone for the pit lane. So there's also somebody else behind me, and at this point I'm just trying to get out of the way because, well, I'm not really having much of a race anymore. I'm just trying to carry it home, and that's pretty much it here. And also sometimes stuff like that happens. I think I was in a too high gear for this corner, and yeah, sometimes you just get a weird torque reaction and the car tries to spin around. If the wheels can't spin enough, then the entire car is going to do so, I guess. But yeah, from what I've seen, a lot of other people also had similar issues. The race apparently also got a redo in the end, so just repeating it again and looking for a different outcome. But at that point I didn't participate anymore, and you'll guys see why. Again, overheating issues, now going into a higher gear in order to try and keep the temperature down, just by not going in a high RPM range. And I think something else might be happening here. Yep. You may be wondering what this was about. I had a fly landing on my foot for some reason, and I tried to swat it, and yeah, that's what happens in-game at that point. Yeah, one thing came to the other, and not like I have much to lose here. Would be a very different story if I took somebody out in that weird maneuver. Also, I gotta say, I should have maybe spent a bit more time with this car still. It feels a bit floaty. Like it feels like you're not really ever reaching the limit or something. You're certainly reaching a few apexes here and there, and with my extensive GTA experience, I was fully expecting that lamppost to budge. But yeah, in the end, I wasn't really feeling the car. It was set up in a way that it doesn't spin out too easily. Stiffer front suspension helps out a lot here, but it didn't feel like I was ever really driving it well. It's just wiggling through the corners, and that's about it. You notice when you don't hit the braking point, because then you're not gonna make the corner, but it's not really, it doesn't feel sharp. So that's something that I should maybe take care of after the event now, and see that I can improve the handling in the future while keeping the same engine and everything. Maybe I should have gone for a shorter final drive ratio after all. I'm not really driving the car to its fullest on these races, and I think a better final drive ratio would be preferable for this kind of stuff over having it be more of a general vehicle that would also have a better top speed on highways. It's not really what's asked of a car right now, so yeah, I kind of went the wrong direction by not adjusting this stuff. But hey, the first race is over. I think we came in second to last, and I'm just gonna go and limp over to the repair station here. And with that, the second video is actually already starting. Ensign Raceway, starting at night, same car, same specification, getting to go a bit quicker here. But also, while I was really looking forward to this race, since I did some practice, the thing that went wrong quickly, and yeah. That was pretty much the end of it already, believe it or not. I'm still doing the full race, but yeah, engine damage, radiator damage, also chassis damage doesn't help either. So the guy I ran into is Scatman. Let's have a look at the start again. Over here to the left, yellow and black vehicle. Having a little scuffle with Tess over here. And I think when running into a Kupke or just having some weird thing going on with the curve, there is a little, very small ledge beside the track, and that can actually cause issues. So while I'm not entirely sure what happened there, it just happened that I ended up hitting him into the back. And that's also kind of important, because I don't know what other damage he has gotten from that, but with me hitting him from behind, my car is totally messed up at this point. His might be pretty much fine. Chassis damage, of course, but engine and radiator damage is something that you get more from the front, and therefore, yeah, I'm really the guy suffering from this. Also, I was very stupid in this entire race trying to use the curbs. Shouldn't do that. The car doesn't enjoy it. You're gonna see a few times where it's trying to get loose on me. And also sometimes I just completely mess up the corners and everything. Thinking that I should need to just brake a lot harder than I really would need to, and it's just gonna... yeah. It's again the whole issue with me not really feeling the car that much. My driving certainly isn't quite as abysmal as my first test runs here, where I was really coming back to the game after 1 or 2 weeks away from it and really not being fully warmed up anymore. Also this happened. I tried to go for the turn, I oversteered, I overcorrected, and I put it into the wall. As you do. And once again it seems like we're about to overheat. And I think this time around I'm also gonna just go into the pit lane and deal with the situation. But yeah, that before first turn incident was another one of those cases where I'm glad that I didn't do any live commentary, because that would have just been curse words at that point. And in the end, it is quite a shame. I spent 1 hour on video just building up this car. I spent another, I think, like about 2 hours building up the other one, and also around 400k in order to get the cars and all the stuff that I needed to bring them up to specs. And when you get into an event, you have a few incidents which just completely kill your race, and while I don't care about being in front or anything, I mean, it's nice if I'm competitive, but I'm alright if I just have a good race, and I'm just not having one up until this point. So yeah. People in front of me are slowly getting away from me, and it's not gonna help if I don't go to the pit lane. But if I go, I know that I'm also not gonna be able to get them anymore. It's just not enough time. But yeah, at this point, I decide to just go for it, and I'm having a major wheeling issue here. Yeah, the car definitely needs some stuff done in order to work out a bit better. But we'll have to see about that. Quick repair, coming back out, but in the end, just going here already takes enough time that I'm not gonna be getting any position from this. At this point, it's more about having the car repaired and at least being able to get a few more nice laps that are maybe at least a little bit of fun driving, if not for positions anymore. I think the guy in front of me, oh no, that's not a participant in the event. They just drove along the track and set themselves up as a camera team or something around different positions. So yeah, at this point, again, issues with the curbs. I really need to stay away from those with the Panther here. This is just really a bad idea, as you can see. Other people getting into the last lap already, I'm just way behind. Not getting lapped though. Yeah, stuff like this. I'm honestly considering how much I want to participate in further events after this. I put in a lot of time and money in order to get everything set up. And in the end, if this is the result, then it's kind of not worth it putting the time in, putting the in-game money into all of that, and making the time to participate in the event. I don't know. I don't want to give up on that completely, because I think it's still some of the best stuff that you can do in the game, if it works out. I absolutely love what the people have been setting up here in terms of events. It's really cool stuff. And once the game starts functioning a bit better, we can also have a bit more fun with that. But right now, it's just there are a lot of things that can go wrong with these races. Having them on specific race tracks already helps a bit because there's no traffic, there's no police and all of that. But there are still a few other things like physics, lag, latency, and yeah, it just doesn't always come together in a good way. So I hope the game improves on that end, and I'll just have to see how I want to handle things in the future. But in the end, you also just don't know how it's gonna end up being if you don't try it. But yeah, after all of what happened today, I'm definitely still a bit miffed about the entire thing. I'm still kind of glad that I at least got the cars now, so if this comes up again at a later point, I already know what I'm gonna be driving. Given that I still need to kind of rework this car in particular in order to be a bit better in the future. But in the end, just on principle, this is not a bad idea to have a racing event like that. But yeah, the second race is about to be over, and the third one is gonna be in the V8 version. And since I had so many things that I wanted to try for the V8, I bought another car, set it up, and this is it. So there's the carbon base color, some black lines above that, and then the orange on top, which really is just supposed to be a warning for everybody, including the driver, that this car is not to be messed with. I found a setup that works for the full 320 horsepower engine, so this is the strongest V8 I could put in there. It's pretty stable, working out well, and I even went for the heavy body kit. I know that aerodynamics right now are not really a thing apart from drag, but I hope that the slightly higher weight gives it a bit more stability. Inertia and everything, I think that's a sound principle. You don't want it to be infinitely heavy, but I mean, right now I don't even care if the body kit does anything for the car. It at least makes it that the overall package is working, and therefore I won't be changing it. Also, I don't know if you saw it, there are some additional braking lights here. I thought just in case if this race happens to be at night, I wanted people behind me to know that, yeah, I'm braking. Please don't ram me. And yeah, we go on go. I don't always remember if we are supposed to go when the third horn starts or when it ends. Usually I go when it starts, but I'm sometimes a bit early, it seems, or at least earlier than the others. By the way, this is gonna be quite fun. Keep a look on the white cover here at Combat Pack. Running into a wall and whoop, there he goes. Out for a swim. So this is a very sharp and suddenly appearing right-hand turn, but everybody was able to do it, as you could see. It's yeah, I had a few laps around this entire thing before I figured out the breaking point. Also, really not happy with that sign on top of me right now. Always feels like they are slowing you down quite immensely. But overall, I'm pretty sure that I'm in third place right now. So this has been working out pretty well, and I'm trying to be very conservative. Not going for a gap that isn't there. But yeah, luggage, however. The thing is, I saw luggage's perspective on this particular incident as well. And for them, it was a clear area. So once again, this is more down to latency than any reckless driving or something. But yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. Also, how it goes sometimes with the game and physics is what's going to happen in a moment. So completely losing control, hitting the wall and going for a few spins and almost flips and everything. And yeah, the car is completely wrecked at this point. There is a tuning shop coming up. So not that big of a deal, but at this point, after everything that happened beforehand, um, safe to say I was kind of at the limit of me just giving up on the entire thing. And what happened here didn't help either. I hit the curb, which makes me hit the wall, and trying to get reverse out of that situation. Okay, I need to play by play to for this. Just the this pathetic situation trying to get into the tuning shop. The right hand side where the tuning boss is a bit closer to the road has been occupied by somebody else, so I need to go for the left one. I try to set up, I hit the curb right here, and it just unsettles the car, makes me go straight into the wall. Okay, reverse out of it, thanks to the slow turning front wheels. I kinda hit it again, even though it's more like a hitbox issue at this point. And yeah, third time's the charm, but now I'm going too far to the right and actually hitting the beam right there and finally repair. You can see the video is almost over. Trying to get going, I think it might have been this curb here that did me dirty. But at that point, despite the car being alright, I don't like rage quitting. And to be clear, I wasn't so mad that I was about to throw the controller away or something. I don't usually get to that point, and it wasn't the case here. But I was enjoying this, and at that point I thought, cut the losses. While I would have liked to have the rest of the race happen as well, with how this part has gone, I had little confidence that the rest would have been enjoyable, so I just didn't want to do it anymore. But yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. So while watching back the first part of the first race, what can I say about the entire thing? I will definitely be keeping more of an eye in the future about what I want to participate in. I think the harbor may not be something for me anymore because, well, yeah, that's just the type of racing that I'm not interested in. One where you just damage your car in the first turn or even on the way there, and then just limp back home for the rest of the race. Again, I still love what the community is doing here, that they are trying to make it work despite the issues they are facing. And I hope the game improves in several ways to make this a bit more viable. Right now I feel like the game is not really quite there yet in order to really function for this kind of racing. And that's a crying shame. It has a lot of potential, but if this is what you get for it, then yeah, I don't know. So I don't know how to really stick the landing here. Again, I just don't want to fully give up on racing, but I also wouldn't mind not being involved in this kind of shit show anymore. And yeah, again, most likely it has a lot of things to do with latency and people just being on different parts of a track for others and the stuff coming through that. I don't think there's anybody purposefully reckless over here, despite it sometimes seeming like it because some people get involved in multiple accidents, but yeah, that may still be looking completely different on their screen. So yeah, we'll have to see how this one is going to continue. But yeah, that's all stuff that we'll figure out in the next few weeks. Who knows when the next event is going to be, what it will be. But yeah, something like this, I might just stay away from it. We'll have to see. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and let me know your thoughts and opinions on the entire meta here. I don't know, I'm kinda torn. I love multiplayer racing events, but they need to do some things, and it needs to work with how the game is running, and right now I don't really see that for, at least not to some degree here. Other things might be fine, but with close quarters racing stuff, it's just, yeah. Anyways, I'm just repeating myself, so at this point I think it's better to just end the episode. I think I've given you guys enough of my opinion, so let me know yours, and with that being said, thanks for watching, have a good one, and till next time, take care and bye bye.